Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela Web Dev. In this video, we will learn about the HTTP client testing module, how we can test the HTTP backend in the Angular. So normally what we will try to do it is, so when testing the applications that make an HTTP request, it is essential to mock the backend to simulate the interactions with a remote server. Normally how we have did it in our previous video, in order to simulate the or mock the HTTP request, so we have used the Jasmine Spy object. So in the same scenario, for us, in order to make the backend to simulate the interactions, we need to mock the backend HTTP request. So now for this one, Angular, for this making especially the simulating this backend requests and all those things, Angular provides a library for us in which is present in angular/common/http/testing. So in this place, you will be having a library that is nothing but HTTP client testing library to facilitate this one. This library allows you to what it will try to do. So it will capture the HTTP request made by the application during test. So it will capture the HTTP request made by the application during test, and also it perform the assertions on this request to ensure the correct API calls are made. So this one is also will be made by this library, and also it will mock the responses to emulate the backend behavior, including errors or delays, and also verify no unexpected requests are made during the testing. So these are the four things which we can do it using this library, that is nothing but Angular client testing library. This approach ensures that the application behaves correctly under various backend scenarios without depending on the actual server. So why we will be doing this one all means, so instead of making a real request and all those things in the testing scenario, so we will be mocking the HTTP request, so that instead of making the actual request, so we can perform the various backend scenarios without depending on the actual server, we can do it. So how the testing pattern works. So normally how the testing pattern works. So testing pattern works in 4 ways. So I will try to explain you about that one also. Application executes the code. So application executes the code. The app makes HTTP request during the test. Okay. So first one is this one. Test inspects the request. Test check which requests were made and assert their correctness. Example, verifying the request URL or HTTP method like this. So it will test these scenarios. And the mock the responses. Tests simulate the backend responses by flushing the expected requests with mock data or errors. So tests simulate the backend responses. So it will simulate the backend responses by flushing the expected requests with mock data or errors. Verify no unexpected requests are made. So after all responses are flushed, tests confirm that no extra or unintended HTTP calls are made. So these are the testing pattern, how the testing pattern works in this one. So the next one, what we will try to do it is, so what we will do it is, we will set up for the testing, how to configure the testing environment, and we will see expecting and answering the request, capturing and responding to the HTTP calls in the test. So we will try to see these scenarios, and also handling the multiple requests, managing the scenarios where multiple requests are made, and advanced matching, performing the detailed matching of requests beyond basic URL or method checks. And also we will try to check the testing error handling. These scenarios also we will try to check in our upcoming videos. So let's try it. I will try to show you the scenarios what we will try to do. Testing the error handling. For example, if an error has been occurred means, so testing how the app handles various types of errors, including backend errors, server side errors like 500 internal server, network errors, connectivity problems or timeouts, and we will also check about this HTTP interceptor testing also. So how we can test the interceptors work correctly or not, we'll try to see it. So now before testing the HTTP client in Angular, first of all, so we need to, now we understood, right, what are the things we will be trying to test. So now before testing the HTTP client in Angular, you need to configure your testing environment using the TestBed. This involves providing specific dependencies. First one is provide HTTP client. So this one you people already know about this one. Provide HTTP client configures the Angular's HTTP client in your test, and the last one is the provide HTTP client testing, replaces the real HTTP backend with the testing backend. So now this one provides you the real backend HTTP methods, and if you use this one, it will replace all the real backend HTTP methods with the testing backend methods. So that is the thing. And here you need to understand that always add provide HTTP client before the provide HTTP client testing. Why? Because So if you provide this one in the first and this one second means, so what are the methods provided in this one will be overridden by this. If you don't provide this one top and this one means, so then the methods will not be overridden. This is because provide HTTP client testing overrides parts of the HTTP client. Reversing the order might break your test. So that is the thing. So now how you can test this one. So for example, if you want to test this one is, so here for example, let's say that this is our testing, right? So here you need to be in the before each here. So here you can do the test bed. Okay, so you need to import the test bed from the Angular code testing and dot configure testing module. So you will be having a method that is nothing but configure testing module. So this is the method which you will be having, and this takes the object just like the module how it will take. And here you can provide the providers. In this provider you need to provide the two things, that is nothing but provide HTTP client testing. So first of all you need to provide HTTP client, and that one is taking some time. Yeah, provide HTTP client which should be imported from the Angular common HTTP, and the another one is provide HTTP client testing. So you need to have provide HTTP client testing. So this one should be imported from the HTTP/testing. So these are the two things which you need to provide. That's it. So here you should not provide semicolon, comma. So after setting up, you can inject HTTP testing controller from testing bed to interact with the mock backend. So here you need to have a testing thing. So here you can have constant HTTP testing. So this is the HTTP testing controller. So here you can have HTTP testing is equal to testbed dot inject. So you can inject the HTTP testing controller, HTTP testing controller. That's it. So now we have injected this one. How this works? Once the setup is complete, all HTTP requests made during your test will go to the testing backend, HTTP testing controller. So this HTTP testing instead of the real server. So you can now use the HTTP testing to make. So now you can use this HTTP testing to capture the HTTP requests, to perform the assertions, to provide the mock responses and all those things. So we will be using this HTTP testing. So that is the thing. So now what we have learned about this one. So in this thing, so we have successfully learned how to test, how to set up the HTTP client testing module in our test cases we have seen. So now in our upcoming videos, what we'll try to do it is, so we will try to do these all the things we'll try to implement it. So there is nothing but expecting and answering requests, how to intercept the specific requests and respond with the mock data, advanced matching, techniques for matching requests based on headers, body content or query parameters, and testing the error handling requests also we'll try to set, simulating the backend or network errors to ensure your app behaves as expected, and testing the interceptors, verifying that custom interceptors correctly modify requests or handle the responses. So hope you understood about this setup guide. So how to set up the what I want to say is HTTP backend in the Angular using the HTTP testing control client testing module. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you.